to help local officials whose communities are being overwhelmed by hordes of illegal immigrants who are being dropped off by the Biden administration. Texas is providing charter buses to send these illegal immigrants who have been dropped off by the Biden administration to Washington, D.C. We are sending them to the United States Capitol, where the Biden administration will be able to more immediately address the needs of the people that they are allowing to come across our border.
Well, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is fed up. Governor Abbott has announced he will arrange 900 charter buses to pick up illegal immigrants stranded at the Texas border and drive them straight to Washington, D.C., where they will be the Biden administration's problem. It's no secret the state of Texas has bared the brunt of a majority of illegal immigrants who have made their way to the United States seeking a better life. But the influx over the last year and the soon-to-be new surge of thousands more at the southern border is causing stress on Texas officials. Greg Abbott says immigrants have been dropped off by the Biden administration and the president has failed to address the needs of the people that they are allowing to cross the border. Joe Biden's handling of the border crisis has been under the microscope the last year or so, with Republicans accusing the party of enforcing an open border policy. A few weeks ago, the head of the US Border Patrol said he was gearing up for as many as 8,000 people to be apprehended daily, which is double the daily load under Donald Trump in 2019. Further stress will come when Democrats end Title 42 on May 23. This is a public health authority that was instated under Trump in March 2020 when coronavirus broke out. It means officials could export illegal immigrants on the spot who had crossed the border, citing COVID-19 concerns. Without Title 42, there are concerns that the border crisis will worsen and put a strain on the already struggling Border Patrol agents, as well as surrounding communities in Texas. A growing number of Democrats are urging the Biden administration to extend Title 42 beyond May. Senator John Tester wrote to Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. He said, "I'm strongly opposed to the administration's decision to let Title 42 expire next month, which will only add to the strain on our broken immigration system. These problems do not only affect the southern border, but put strain on those working to secure the northern border as well." Senator Tester maintained while Title 42 is not a long-term solution to the border catastrophe, if the health order ends, there needs to be ample preparation on how to handle the influx of illegal immigrants. Fox News' Bill Melugin has been covering the crisis extensively. He was in Brownsville yesterday as migrants were taken on buses, and he's back in Rio Grande, where there have been multiple arrests of immigrants with criminal backgrounds, as well as a huge increase of migrants at the border.
Meanwhile, take a look at these photos from right here in the Rio Grande Valley sector where we are. Border Patrol here reporting they have been encountering huge groups of migrants in recent days, including more than 800 in 6 separate groups, mostly from Central and South America. As you can imagine, that is putting a huge strain on their resources and their holding capacity, which is why you saw those mass releases happening in Brownsville yesterday. There have been more than 250,000 illegal crossings in this sector alone in the last 6 months. And if we can lastly pull up these photos out of Border Patrol's Del Rio sector, also in Texas, that sector also overwhelmed right now. Border agents, they're reporting they are also getting these huge single groups of more than 100 each, saying the last 3 days in a row they've been encountering these groups. That sector, more than 200,000 illegal crossings in the last 6 months. Their numbers are up about 180% over the same time last year.
Press Secretary Jen Psaki confirmed today the White House was providing illegal immigrants with free phones so they can track or check on them, especially if they have a notice to appear before court. But Fox News' Peter Ducey questions how giving smartphones away deters migrants from crossing the border.
Thank you, Jen. First, on immigration, our team in Texas is saying that you guys are starting to give smartphones to border crossers, hoping that they'll use the phones to check in or to be tracked. Which part of that is supposed to deter people from crossing illegally into the States?
Well, I think you of all people, since you've asked me a range of questions on this topic over time, would recognize that we need to take steps to ensure that we know where individuals are and we can track and we can check in with them. The Alternatives to Detention program is just what we utilize, has 3 unique forms of technology to monitor participants enrolled in the program: telephonic, This is one of them, which uses a participant's voice to create a biometric voice print during the enrollment process. And when the participant has a check-in call, their voice is compared to the voice print. Smart Link, which is another option, enables participant monitoring via smartphone or tablet using facial matching technology to establish identity. And Global Positioning System monitoring is of a participant's location and movement history using satellite technology through an ankle bracelet. This is all part of our effort as individuals come into the United States and individuals who are entering who will proceed to immigration proceedings to monitor and track where they are.
With the telephonic, though, any concern by folks around here that these migrants will take the phones and just toss them? And then
Do you have a record of people throwing phones away?
I'm just asking if that's a concern.
Our concern is ensuring that individuals who irregularly migrate to the United States proceed through our process of, of course, being monitored, but also participating in hearings to determine whether or not they will be able to stay. I would note that nearly 80% of non-citizens released at the border from DHS custody under prosecutorial discretion have either received a notice to appear or are still within their window to report. So actually, the vast majority of people are appearing. In part, we have these monitoring systems in order to do that effectively.